Hello, 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 everybody. It is Matt, and it is Bloodthirsty Thursday, and I am back at you with yet another review. Before I roll on to any of that, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing your beautiful faces when you are here. I know I'm here an awful lot, but I have an awful lot on my plate to review. And one last little tidbit of information. Check out the description box. I give you a bigger bite of every single movie of every single day. I give you your brief synopsis, your starring cast, your director, runtime of the cut I am watching, along with a link for a trailer, a link for where you can buy this bad boy not for free, but buy this bad boy. And then also, if you decide, you can help support Matt's Movie Mania and toss me a couple of bucks. Now, with all that said in mind and all that out of the way, let's roll on to the film of the day. And today is a very, very interesting, very good one, very beautifully shot. It is none other than the 2024 is the latest film from Juval Marlon. It is Suffer Little Daughter. What a movie. Holy smokes. It is definitely, it's got a powerhouse of a cast that does a great job. It's got great people behind the camera doing a great job as well. I really have nothing negative to say about this movie. It runs at about an hour and 15 minutes. It's obviously not rated, but if it were, it probably would get a NC-17 in my opinion, because it gets pretty hardcore in places, which is what we want when a sick deviants of the underworld. This fulfills everything that you'll ever need. It feels like Juval Marlon made a Mariandora film in ways, is the best way I can really describe it, because there is so many things of this that remind me of Blight of Humanity, especially the music that they are using. It reminds me a lot of the music score that Mariandora would use. But it's still, it's original, you know. It's not a ripoff or a generic substitute by any means. So don't look at it like that. It just has that kind of vibe going on. Now, what is this movie about exactly? Well, it starts off with a woman who is doing a sultry little dance, and she is getting naked, touching herself, showing her all of her naughty bits. And the cameraman decides to sneak on in there, and he wants to take a grab. She freaks out, basically tells him off, and he goes in for another grab, and she beats on him a little bit, and she grabs her stuff and leaves. Fast forward it a little bit more, and you meet a gentleman, an older gentleman, who is waiting along the side of the road, while she is very hastily moving down the road in her car in a very, very fast fashion. She's driving pretty quick. And you can tell that both of them are nervous. Not just nervous, but they're also very anxious feeling as well. You get that kind of feel from them. She picks them up. They are father and daughter. Now they go off, and the wife or mother has passed away in I forget exactly how, but the wife slash mother is dead. They go to her grave and lay some flowers in a nice rainy awkward day. And then they decide they're going to go off and see all these other beautiful sights. The scenery in this is just absolutely astonishing, in my opinion. I've seen several Juval's films, and this by far is his greatest piece of work. My next favorite would probably be Sturmgewehr, or however it's pronounced, assault rifle. For us that speak English, that's what it stands for. But that one is really good. But this, I think, is Juval's greatest work so far. But there's just all this stunning scenery that they're going across. Eventually, they're in this wooded, secluded area, and they decide that they're going to have a little bonfire and then cook some. They look like sausages, not quite hot dogs. I don't think hot dogs exist in Germany, but they, and they're having some rather heated talk. It's very deep and very impactful, not meaningful, but impactful type stuff. Eventually, the daughter goes off, while she's gathering wood. At one point, she goes off and she comes across this other man, and this other man who is kind of rough looking a little bit. Happens to catch her urinating outside in the woods, and yes, you do get to see it for those of you that want to. But that's neither here nor there. But they eventually have a discussion. He goes back with her. The father and the daughter are staying at this remote house out in the middle of the wilderness, out in the middle of nowhere. And this man comes home with her. The dad seems a little bit miffed about it, or heated about it, like he's not happy. He goes off and does his own thing, while the daughter proceeds to give this man a beer and blah 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 blah. Now later on that evening, the man is watching some. It looks like footage from a mortuary or a morgue. It's a dead body of a woman that he's looking at, and at the same time, upstairs in the bedroom, the father is watching his own variation of dead body stuff. It's a woman who is alive at first, and she's naked. They do the Juval signature maneuver or shot, that I should say, the Juval signature shot, where they stick a gun barrel in a girl's mouth and make it look like she's giving it oral copulation. Eventually they show her nether bits, and she is very much on her menstrual. It's definitely one of those where it's like, holy crap, like they every time you didn't think they would go any push the boundaries any further, they did. I'm not going to give away any more else as far as this story goes, because there is so much more that happens after that. Stuff that happens between the stranger and the daughter, the dad and the daughter, the dad and the stranger. It just really gets very intense and very raw and gritty, I would say this one gets, even though it's so beautifully shot and it has all this whimsical music going on for it, that it just doesn't it feels like a fairy tale gone wrong. It's pretty good. Now, under the three things that I love my movies, to me, first is the audio. The audio is very crisp, cool, and clean, as I like to say. There is no moments where I don't understand what is being said. Granted, all of it is in German and I'm reading subtitles, but still I can understand, or at least hear in what they're trying to enunciate. So it doesn't have any outside interference or any like staticky sounds. No, nothing that is bad or negative on the audio aspect on this. So I'm going to give it an A+. Dialogue. Now, dialogue is very, very deep and impactful. Like I said earlier, there's things that that saying, you can say something but you can't take it back. There's a lot of that going on in here. It's very just back and forth with some really good dialogue, and I really liked it, so I'm going to give it another A plus there. And now on to editing. The editing is very fine in this. It has a nice steady forward momentum. It never once loses my interest in it. I never got bored. I wished that it was just a little bit longer. That's all I wanted. Just like 10 minutes, because an hour and 15 minutes, that's a good time, I mean, but I think if you would have gave it a little more, I think it would. I would have been more happy with that. But I'm still going to give it an A plus there. Now on to my final score of 1 through 5. Is it going to get a 5? Not quite the 5. It's more like a 4.9999. It's my 4.5. I really liked this one. This is just now getting, or it's soon getting a release from Tarnished Vision Films. They're taking the pre-orders right now. Jacob, I know, had there was an issue with the discs, so they had to get that fixed. So it's back to being on schedule for its release this time. All right, guys, I love your faces, and as always, peace.